Hello, everyone.
Oh,
Welcome
right.
back to another evening of D&D. We are here once again for the Lost Kings of Adoris, finally.
Finally back.
Finally back!
Mm-hmm.
Good to be
Well
back.
rested.
It's gonna be a good time.
No, it's not.
It's gonna be great.
I'm so scared.
I've not attacked you guys in the middle of the night yet.
Mm-hmm.
You give me two.
Not the middle of the night.
beverages.
It's true, it's just
ready.
dark out.
I already got through multiple combats without my armor, so I'm prepped.
You're ready to go.
Yeah.
We're going to go around the table real quick, introduce ourselves, and I will read the recap from 2 weeks ago, and then we will pick up where we left off.
I'm John, and I play Marcus.
I'm Sarah, and I play Dandelion.
I'm Paul, and I play Rin.
I'm Mike, and I play Mr. Pigeon.
I'm not Lawrence. In fact, I'm less Lawrence than I was the last time you saw me. And I play Shay.
And I'm Don, the DM of this wonderful campaign. Last week's episode, Reflections, Dandelion speaks with Elena at the carnival. I will not reveal the contents of that conversation, but Rin and Twig did observe Dandelion attempting to be sneaky, to sneak away towards the tent, and she did so not very successfully whatsoever, and they did notice.
Mm-hmm.
So she talks to Elena. Twig and Rin practice their combat, with Rin having asked Twig to learn how to use a rapier.
You ever used the sword before?
And that went,
I thought of it immediately.
that went really well.
It cuts so deep.
So they continued to train over the next few days while waiting for Marcus to return. Can't read that. Mr. Pigeon has
I can't read.
has a private room
Yeah.
session.
Excuse me?
What? I said what I said.
Nice, dude.
A few days later,
Braille.
Marcus returns from Lakemount, and you guys all meet in the inn for breakfast. You speak with Hugh Man, who again tells you that he really doesn't want to do anything, but he wants to dance through life, but not physically dance because that's far too much work. So then you guys decide that he should in fact be a clown, and you give him the name the Melancholy Moose after Mr. Pigeon dresses him up. He tells you guys that he would like to wear the outfit of a clown and pretend to be a clown, but not actually be a clown. And Shay tells him that there's a lot of drinking in clown work, and he says, I would like to be a clown. He prepares your breakfast along with some weird, like, steak stuffed eggs thing that really was kind of sketchy. And then he left the tavern, presumably forever. Twig shows off her wonderful sleep mask from Lucy, introducing it as Skinderella, stating that it's used to cover her eyes and help her sleep. Marcus checks in and tells everybody all that happened in Lakemount, telling you guys that everything is settled there for the time being and everybody is reunited to the best of his ability. You guys head outside and see Murdoch and Colbane watching the townsfolk and eating ice cream. They're not holding hands because Colbane only has one of them and he is eating the ice cream, so he can't.
Otherwise, they would
Otherwise, they
be.
would be, but he can't, so
Good to know.
yeah. So, yeah, you know,
Right.
just throwing that out there. You guys walk over and ask, like, where'd you get those weird things? And they say, well, there's a store. Yeah, hands. They point to a store called Freezing Rock Confectionaries, and you guys head over and order ice cream from a dwarven man working there. He mixes the flavors himself, smashing them together after dispensing them out of a large boxy machine with numerous gears and clockworks on it. Clearly built by an artificer. He tells you that his name is Magman Coldstone, and tells you about his father, the Ice Cream King, creator of the Freezing Rock Confectionaries brand of frozen treats, and that he lived within Frostholm. Magman got a loan, a small loan of 1 million gold from him, and had artificers build this machine to dispense the ice cream. You guys rest and then head out the following morning for Greymoor. Unbeknownst to you, Rin
Don, real quick, it's been requested that you make the ice cream making sound.
Bam, 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 bam. There you go.
Thank you.
I
Forever
forgot.
I was
requested that.
fully
Thank you.
immersed.
Thank you very much.
We're back in.
We're back.
Who requested that? Just so I know.
Luna.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Luna. I appreciate that. I did need to get that. So he did just smash all the ice cream together. But yeah, unbeknownst to you guys, Rin casts Find Familiar in his room the night before, making a strange blue shimmery raven. The next
Strange?
I mean, it's ravens are just have black feathers. Shimmery is
All
weird.
right.
It's inherently strange.
So is it strange or is it totally normal but shimmery?
It's totally normal but shimmery.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't investigate.
We'll go with that.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a normal
Definitely a
raven.
normal raven.
Killed the bird. Got it.
Don't do
You
that.
guys awaken the next morning. Murdoch tells you guys that he wants to stay behind in Southport for the time being to help Sheila keep the city safe, and he bids you goodbyes. You guys head to the carriage. Marcus drives. Ren and Dandelion sit up front directly behind him. The other three hanging in the back. Shay and Mr. Pigeon work on hand signals while Twig unravels her eye flaps and goes to sleep. Dandelion tells the group about what Elena told her about the man she's looking for, as well as the night markets within Greymoor and the capital of Arbor as well. She tells you guys about how the Iron Crown marks the items that they are not looking for and sends them out to be resold so they don't get picked up again. They mark them with a little crown on them, little crown insignia. Marcus asks Mr. Pigeon when he gained his magic after talking with the others about if they were born with magic or if they learned it. Maybe he's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline. Who can say?
Maybe it's margarine.
Maybe it's margarine. Mr. Pigeon says that he gained access to it from praying prior to the circus. They talk about the fact that his family worships Saloon, but not all of his people, his race, worshipped Saloon, that other gods were worshipped, Shar included. Mr. Pigeon tells you guys, without speaking, that he grew up in Otasolar after Dandelion asks about Yathauna, and he just kind of points.
Really good conversation.
Man of many words.
He conveys to
A
us.
storyteller.
He waves his arms around and
Naturally born
truly,
and
truly
gifted.
paints a beautiful picture. Marcus asked about Mr. Pigeon's family, asking if they were sad when he left, and asked about where his family lived. Marcus and Shay surmised that he had to leave, that his family was killed in the process after Mr. Pigeon makes a cutting motion across his throat. He indicates that he was a child by shrinking his hand down to indicate small, and that the children were not spared, though he survived. He tells you guys about his missing family blades after you ask some follow-up questions, saying that they are not inherently religious, but they are important artifacts for his family. Marcus tells the group about his own parents' death and how the visage of Shantea was taken after the holy ground was desecrated. The group isn't sure if anything was taken from Rin's home when it was burned, and though the flower from Twig's home wasn't stolen, it is dying. Rin tells him that most of the rangers from his elven home wielded their family blades, though Rin's were crafted specifically for him and are the first of... he is the first in the line of people to wield those particular blades.
Don, I clarified all of them.
Yes, that's
All.
right. All of the
bacon.
rangers. All the bacon that you have.
All of the bacon.
Wrens, while looking similar to Mr. Pigeon's, are not ancestral blades. Mr. Pigeon's are very potent, concentrated magic, and Rin seems to understand what he means by that. As the group speaks, Rin holds out his arm and whistles, and his raven lands on his arm. Dandelion looks around very confused, and Rin tells him that he summoned the bird the same way Dandelion did with summoning Shimmer. As day becomes night, you guys come across a sign for an inn called the Raven in the Ring. You approach further down the road towards another sign, and you see a very handsome elvish man dressed in a green tunic punching a halfling man in the street. As he hears you guys approach, he looks up, smiles, and says, "Ah, good evening. Be with you in a moment, friends." And resumes punching this halfling man in the street, open palm striking him in the center of his chest. I will describe both of these people that you see here. So this elvish man has long, shimmery silver hair pulled back into a ponytail, strands of it falling loosely over his face and around his long, pointed ears as he punches this man. He has bright green eyes that you can see from the distance that seem to reflect the moonlight. A short-sleeved green tunic underneath a brown hooded fur cloak. He has silvery wrappings around his wrists, and his hands seem to glow with what Marcus you would recognize as holy energy.
Very good.
As you get closer and stop your carriage in front of this man, you can see that on his wrappings as he stands and helps this halfling man to his feet, on the backs of the hands, he has scribed a symbol of a silver unicorn head with sapphire eyes that you recognize as the symbol of Miliki, goddess of forests.
I'm glad I do.
Yes. I would say that makes sense for you to recognize that.
100%. I'm a druid that grew up by the woods.
He's about 6 feet tall.
God or goddess, of course.
Goddess, sorry. As with most elves, it's kind of difficult to tell his age. He doesn't look like a child, but he doesn't look like he's like 1,000.
He doesn't not look like
He does not look like a child.
Could be 20, could be 80.
Yes, pretty much.
And you said
Or
that the
700.
unicorn with the eyes are on the bandages?
Yeah, so you can see that there are, as the wrapping goes, it forms that, as if there's a piece of it on like different pieces
Elevation,
of it.
so it's got like a topography style thing if you're
Yes,
looking
and
down.
as he wraps, it
Okay.
forms the symbol. So
Okay,
if it was
cool.
unraveled, you wouldn't really be
You
able to
see it
tell
again.
what it is.
Cool.
This halfling man looks to be about 70 years old. He has long, curled gray hair and cyan-colored eyes. He's dressed in fairly common clothing, but you can see that it's torn in a few places, and there is a large gash in the clothing across his chest. You can see that there are scratch marks on his chest that as he is being struck by this elvish man, they are slowly healing. And this elvish man looks down at him and begins to help him up. Marvius, you all right? I'm fine now. Thank you. And he just kind of pushes himself to his feet and pulls a cane from off of his back and begins walking in the direction of where the sign points towards the inn.
I was just gonna walk away. I'm
Into the woods. I'm doing okay now.
Oh God!
I'll be in the woods if you need me.
Thanks for beating the devil out of me.
The scratches on his chest. I get that he's a halfling man.
Yep.
Large,
His
small,
whole, like his whole torso.
like one continuous gash or a
like,
series
so like
of
three
small?
gashes, a claw of something.
Vertical, diagonal,
Diagonally.
diagonal.
Yep.
All right. Big scratches.
Yes.
3.
And he walks over to where this other sign is and just sits on it to try to catch his breath. And the elvish man looks up towards you all and kind of hops to his feet. Good evening, friends. You are obviously travelers. Are you looking for somewhere to stay for the evening?
Yes, I've never seen healing administered in such a interesting and unique fashion.
Yes. Well, that comes from my training. My father was a monk.
Good.
So I use my power of the, and he holds up his hand, of the wonderful Maliki, and I attempt to target specific points on the body. I find that healing is best delivered to specific spots. It's not necessarily about where the injury is, but it's how your body channels the energy.
I'm gonna look at Marcus and just...
I mean, when I lay my hands on an injury, I guess in some way I'm redirecting the flow of life to that spot. I try
Yes.
to restore, as you've done.
Does it matter where you touch for the healing?
I mean, now that I think about it, theoretically, no.
The pathways within the body have ways of finding ways for the magic to reach any wound.
Damn it, I'm not high enough to multi into monk.
Have you ever punched a man back to life before?
I mean, I don't think I'd typically do it with such vigor, but if that is part of the training.
Yes, it does look
Violent?
it does look violent. Yes, but it is very controlled. It is.
Damn you!
Do you typically do individuals such as yourself also give great back cracks?
Yes, the technique that I use is referred to as acupressure. It is similar to acupuncture, but obviously without the needles.
I
I don't
meant
know what that is.
I didn't mean with needles.
No, I understand. I just mean the way that I heal. I refer to it as acupressure. Target specific points on the body.
I see.
Yes. But yes, I could crack your back if you'd like.
Trying
Yeah,
to get these
100%.
hands.
Yeah, I get down.
I mean, his hand was
Just
open.
you know.
Yeah, he walks over to you and just like wraps his arms behind you, and you just feel him tug upward, and your
Yeah,
spine
kind
just.
of like that.
It's the best feeling.
Yeah, it feels very nice, and you watch as his hands glow as this happens, and he lets you down. Feeling better from the long ride?
Thank you.
Of course. My name is Tristan, and I would be happy to serve you at my inn if you're looking for somewhere to stay for the night.
Of course, my name's Marcus. Do you have a spot for us to safely park and store our carriage for the evening?
Yes, we do have a stable. If you'll follow me right down this path. I will lead you to it.
Sure. I guess we're gonna hang out with the Slappy Man.
That's fine.
I'm a big fan. He just healed that elderly dying short man.
He seems very nice.
Yeah.
Talking about the halfling?
Halfling. Yes. Just off into the forest.
How far away is it? It's in sight, right?
The stable.
So I'll describe what this looks like. For clarity, his name is spelled Drysta.
I spelled that. So what the hell?
Wrong.
Dry stand.
Dry stand.
Dristan.
But he's
Dry
in the
stand.
rain. I don't understand. How can it be dry?
Wasn't he?
We'll
I
hang
guess I
out
don't
dry
know
stand. That's fine.
Yeah.
The name of the
I'm not going to any of
No,
his
the
parties,
goddess.
though.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So
Dry stand.
So he walks over
Right out.
towards this halfling man and helps him up and begins walking through.
Does the halfling man run the stables?
No, but he's
just collecting him.
Yeah, he's
Sure.
he's helping him up so that way they can walk back.
Get in there!
to the town. Yeah. I know you just.
I
hit
need
attack.
people allowed to run these tables.
Okay.
Back to work.
Yeah. So
You're
as
not
you-
getting that easy.
Help me! Something hurt me! No!
You'll work these stables like your father before you.
I have you for life.
And your son will take over when you die.
oddly enough, you'll find that theme does continue here.
Oddly?
Is this like just subtle slavery that we've been witnessing?
No!
Yeah. So
No, divert.
this man leaves the main road, and you see that there's a cobblestone path that leads off of the road, wide enough for a cart, that winds its way back along a couple of trees into a small clearing of tall white oak trees. As your cart crackles along the cobblestones, you pass through them, and you are greeted with a clearing with a few much thicker trees that seem to glisten in the moonlight, the normal reds and oranges and browns of the fall leaves, replaced with a deep reddish purple hue, almost like a plum color, these leaves that kind of glisten as the moon shines on them. Sitting between two of these large trees sits a moderately sized tavern constructed of wood, wattle and daub style. You can see that there are some cracks and holes in it that have been filled in with colored like river stone. So there are like semi
Patchwork
almost
style.
patchwork like pastel colored rocks filling in these cracks where the older mortar has cracked. In the large trees on either side are more small buildings built into the side of the trees, the winding roots, branches, and flowing hillsides supporting many of them, wooden staircases wrapping up the large trunks of these trees spiraling up from the base. As your carriage crackles on the cobblestone below, you cross a small wooden lantern-lit bridge that leads towards the main tavern building, leading over a small river that lazily drifts past below, pushing a large water wheel on the side of this tavern. In the front of these two trees, you see a small pumpkin patch that spreads its roots out, as well as a few other vegetables. And in the distance, you see a small orchard behind these two larger trees, apples dangling from the trees within. He leads you across this bridge and towards towards this building as the road winds around into a large circular area of cobblestone that you can see has been worn down clearly from other carriages over the years. And he kind of halts you in front of this building. Well, here we are. My wife, and he points to another woman that looks similarly elvish to him with long pointed ears. She has reddish brown hair and hazel eyes, pale skin, long pointed ears with small metal droplets, little like raindrop earrings that kind of spiral up the side of her ears, along with a few dangled porcelain leaves. She's dressed in a slightly shimmery light gray dress with leaf-like shoulder pauldrons and a muted blue-colored cloak, and she has two strips of hair in front of her that are also banded with these same color blue ribbons. Good evening, friends. I would be happy to take your carriage. I am the stable master for this inn, and as Tristan alluded to, I am his partner, and I would be happy to take your carriage for the night.
Thank you.
Of course.
Very kind offer. Yeah, I would step down and go over and hold the reins and in one hand, hold out the reins, but first extend my hand to shake hers.
Yeah, she reaches out and grabs yours and shakes.
Marcus?
Aelith.
I was waiting for Dristina.
Spell Aelith before I write it down.
Yeah.
A-Y.
No.
You said before
I started.
L-I.
A-Y-L-E-T-H.
I never would have gotten there. Wouldn't have done it.
It's is that that's
I
actually
started
that
with
actually makes
A.
sense though.
Still wouldn't have gotten there. Doesn't make fantasy sense.
Listen,
That's an
it's
AE
straight
all
out of
day.
the Final Fantasy names list.
You're welcome.
It's a great names.
Thank you. I didn't make them.
Very-
I know. Most of these
Good thing
names
it wasn't
that we
Aerith.
said tonight
Gotta go!
Ooh.
are. Brand's on there, actually.
No, he's not. Damn it.
Oh, he is.
Right in the center of the bees. Under monsters.
I'm not.
He did what he thought was right.
Too bad it was wrong.
Yeah, but both very attractive elven people as she shakes your
Nice.
hand. Yeah.
You said partner. That means there could be more than one. I would release her hand and just extend the reins and thank her once more.
Of course. Your carriage will be kept covered to protect from any weather that we might have. And your horses will be well cared for, of course.
for?
Well, kill for.
Oh, kill for
Oh, I don't want to have to eat horse again. It's not good.
Well cared for.
Marcus, what did you do with them while you were gone? Why do they want to kill the horses?
Oh my god. No, they said kill for the horses.
Oh, no.
Like they would murder
Oh, that's
people
worse.
on behalf of the horses.
This is the night of the hunt. We're all going to put pumpkins on our head and go out into the woods.
Who are you
We're just gonna
hunting?
speak with animals. And
Who are you
see
hunt-
if
do you
these
wanna take
horses
this
have
turn?
anyone they need dead.
Take the turn, Don.
As I release the reins, I would actually look back towards Dandelion and gesture at the horses. We never gave our friends names. If you would like to think of names over the evening for our good horse companions here, this way in the morning we can bless them with their chosen names and begin to become more familiar with parts of our family.
How many horses do we have?
2.
Just gonna dart my eyes at Shay. Just gonna shake my head, like I didn't do anything.
Thank you.
Of course. I'll give you a moment to settle in and gather any belongings you might have, and in about 10 minutes I'll come and take your horses in your carriage.
Sure. Mr. Pigeon, do you need help carrying the lifeless form of Twig?
Yeah, Twig's passed out.
The sleep mask is really working.
Yeah,
Just tuck her in the wagon.
we'll just leave her in there overnight in this stable.
She hasn't slept this well in
Show
so
kill for
long.
these horses.
The Liching Hour, thank you very much for the raid. We appreciate that very much. Welcome, everybody. It's a
Welcome.
fantastic
Thank
name,
you.
by the way. I love that. Love that
That's
a lot.
really good.
Yeah, I guess we can just make sure she's tucked in. And,
It's the AC time.
Okay. I thought it was thunder. I was like,
It did sound like thunder.
the liching hour begins.
And I'm actually going to lower the lights to set the scene because it is nighttime.
she must be tuckered out from our training.
Oh, can we get like crickets?
Can we get some?
Yeah, just unleash them.
Yeah.
Locusts release the crickets.
Oh my god. Could we just begin the plagues as well? Like, trying to play D&D.
I mean, the cicadas
Are we the
kind of
baddies?
the cicadas missed our area, and I'm feeling a
True.
little left out, to be honest.
Yeah, we missed the screams.
I really
I can
wanted
make
the
that happen.
cicadas.
Let's collect some death petals.
Harbingers.
You guys talk about
Oh,
So we
got
have to
sides.
drive to Delaware to go visit the cicadas, is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's rough down there.
I really want to see the cicadas.
No, they're so stupid.
I love
They're so
I
dumb.
love it.
They just run into objects full speed.
Yes.
Just
Man.
and then you watch them fall and then they can't get up like
Yes.
turtles. It's
I love dumb bugs.
they're really dumb.
I really like dumb bugs.
They're as dumb as they're the dumbest bugs you'll ever see.
I
That's
can't wait
great.
until there's just like an ominous loud cawing
They
inserted in
scream.
that
Yeah, just go to
soundtrack
like
that you found.
probably find them in like a park down there easily.
Just really
I like
just
the sound
break
they
the
make.
mood at
Like
one
that.
The
point.
screaming sound.
Yeah,
yes.
I like that.
Not
It's really
really
cool.
for the raven.
True.
Not when you're like super close to it, but when it's far away, it sounds nice.
I don't think there's anything inside of the cart that we care about taking inside. I would 100% leave my other half of armor and my maul in the carriage. I'm not going to be rude and All right, let's go get some steak.
Sure.
I've got my eating maul.
The only thing that I want to check in the cart is to make sure that Twig's mask is down.
Yeah, the eyes are rolled
Eye
over.
flaps are good.
Yeah,
Perfect.
the eye flaps are good. They've
Okay.
been, there's little buttons, so they've been
Yeah, we're
buttoned
gonna
shut.
snap those in. Yep.
Yeah, they're
Good to
snapped
go.
in. She's good to go. Yeah, it's got a top button and a lower button, so you can roll them up or keep them
Pull
down.
down.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
horrifying.
In case of wind.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping in a storm.
Wind.
Sleeping in a moving carriage.
Oh, that Lucy.
Yep. Thought of everything. She's
Mhm.
truly a genius.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess we would go back over to Dresden and follow him into the tavern.
Sure. Yeah, so you guys make your way inside through a set of double doors at the front, made of the same wood that the rest of it is. It looks to be these oak trees that have been chopped down and made into this building. And you make your way inside, and you can see that this is a sort of a roundabout space where there's a central counter that kind of wraps around in a circle. And there is a large sprawling space that makes its way around the rest of the building with a lot of different tables. There doesn't seem to be too many people in here. There's only 2 other people that you can see. And you hear the wheel outside turning on the side of this building as a rod makes its way in through the wall above, on the ceiling above you towards the center where you can see there is a small room that is, there's something spinning inside to make bread. There are lanterns hung from the ceiling that illuminate the space. It's about the same light level as it is in here currently. And he leads you all inside. Welcome to the Raven and the Ring. This is our tavern. Our rooms are in the trees outside.
Sounds very lovely.
It's quite relaxing, yes.
Yes. How long have you been in business, sir?
Quite a long time. I've been running the tavern for 60 years. My father, another 30 before that. Yes.
Very nice family business.
This is what you wanted to do.
Oh, yes, of course. It's a tradition in my family.
Did your father retire or move somewhere, or is he still here with us?
Unfortunately, he did pass away.
I'd like to roll insight on whether or not he actually wanted to do this.
Sure.
10.
You don't get any indication that he...
He answered quickly.
Yeah, he answered
He
quickly.
didn't hesitate.
He did not hesitate, no.
Let's practice this answer.
It was ingrained.
Did you? Yes, I wanted to do this.
Of course I did! Don't tell my father!
I chose this. He looks up.
It's the family business!
As he just turns around and shakes his fist at a picture of
Why
another.
did we live so long?
I could have been a clown.
No, unfortunately, he did pass away 30 years ago when I took over.
I'm very sorry to hear that, sir.
Yes, my mother not soon after, unfortunately.
Sorry again.
They are together now, so
Yes, there is peace and serenity in that knowledge.
yes, they both passed in their sleep.
Very peaceful. Very
Yes.
kind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about everybody else. I think a meal would be very nice to relax and settle in for the evening before bed.
Yes, please.
Suppose we could prepare something for Twig and leave in the wagon in case she wakes up in the middle of the night and wants a snack.
Sure.
I don't know if fish holds. It's probably fine.
Cooked fish should be all right to be outside.
For several.
I don't think she wants cooked fish.
Understandable. Well, perhaps it might be better if she comes in when she wakes up.
I would hate to wake you.
Well, that's all right. I only say that I do not wish to leave things outside that may attract animals. Our resident gatherer, and he points at the halfling man, was attacked by an owlbear this evening. Not something we've seen in these parts normally, but he did make it out all right, thankfully.
Any of us have any familiarity with owlbear?
I would say Ren.
Yeah.
Given the infested woods outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you would know that they're not super common outside of the like weird fairy woods that you have there. They're fey creatures.
Yeah.
Would I know about them?
Yeah, I would say that you would consider them friendly to you. Yeah.
Like a bear would be? Or like a...
Yeah, dude, like a bear.
Bears can be friends.
Not when they're hungry.
You know those things you just totally find and just go say hi
Probably when they're
to?
friendliest.
I would say that that's something that you would know that some of the...
Or would I specifically be friends with an owl bear?
I think you would be friends with a particular
Kind of
owlbear. With a particular type of bear.
Yogi bear.
The Coca-Cola bear.
Ooh, very good.
No, I would say that you would be friends with a particular owlbear that belonged to our good friend Ron. That and you would know that they were also used as like mounts, basically, in the Feywild. So yeah, the two of you would know what that is. The rest of you would not.
I forgot that we call him Ron.
Did you just say mount?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm gonna really need you to tell me that. Like by 5th level, like by when I get by siege.
Shirtless. He wants
Like-
to reenact the poop.
Like I'm not saying that's a serious need in my heart of hearts. I need to have a mole and an owlbear. We have plenty of time. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it'll come up organically. Do you know anything about owlbears and their mounting properties?
Don't do it. Do not do it.
Unless your name's Ron, I guess. Fuck.
Yeah, and as he says that, the halfling man just kind of like...
He's the gatherer
Yeah.
of like the plants in like the garden, like the vegetables, or does he go out into the forest?
He hits out into the forest outside.
They're not typically dangerous,
Well, we've not seen one before. This is new.
but there's not any other dangers.
No, I don't think so. I just wouldn't want to attract that or anything else by leaving food outside.
What if it's a friend, though?
Well, he was almost mauled to death. I'm not sure if he approached too close to a...
Did you say hello to it?
You can do that?
You can say hello to anything, I think.
Where was this at?
Dear God.
If you know the right handshake, perhaps.
east of here.
True.
Or, sorry.
Though we don't really do that.
Yes, east of
In the
here.
Feywild, you don't
No.
shake hands?
Nearby. Normally, I would attempt to calm a beast such as that. I am familiar with them, but it is
Calming
late.
practices.
Well,
The mounting
it's
properties.
well, it's late, and I mean, owlbears are fairly common where I come from, so
Oh, are they?
yes,
Where do you come from, sir? I've never seen an owlbear.
from the Feywild. Though I live here now.
Like a dandelion does.
I did pick up that there was something special about you, dear.
Yes.
Do you have like a Feywild handshake?
No, we don't really do that.
But why?
I-
How do you greet one another then? A
Hello?
wave. A Feywild wave.
Yes.
I think just usually saying hello. Maybe she'll
Curtsy.
curtsy.
You do anything when she curtsies?
He bows at you. He bows.
Well, those are common practices here as well. Alright, not too culturally different then.
Yes,
Well,
I
you said
am surprised to see another out of the Feywild, especially young as you are. Not seen any in quite some time.
How did you leave?
That is a bit of a long story, perhaps over dinner.
Certainly. Thank
Very
you.
well, of course.
I don't know what all of you would like to eat.
Well, let me lead you to a table, and
Thank you.
we'll talk.
Hmm?
And he leads you across to a very long table around, near on the left side wall, right under where this large like wooden beam comes in from the wheel outside. And the sounds of water pushing this wheel are very relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very calming.
Mm-hmm.
And he leads you to this table and points you to it. If you'll have a seat here,
Mm-hmm.
just let me grab something to write things down. Be right
Pull out
back.
a chair for Dandelion.
And he steps away for a moment.
While he is gone, I'm gonna lean over to Marcus. I can't tell him why I'm here.
That's good.
He
Might report back to Titania.
He probably knows Titania.
Definitely. Everybody knows everybody in the Feywild, right?
He's much bigger than me.
Yes, he is. That's a good point. That means he probably was not a small thing before he came here.
Probably not, and I don't think he knows that I was.
Well, Ron made you bigger.
Yes.
I guess Ron didn't need to make him bigger.
I-
He's already big enough.
Yeah, he's like 6 feet tall.
Nice.
He's very big.
Yes. It's probably fine. I mean, we can ask him whether or not he knows Ron or Titania. He might have valuable information about either of their,
It's
I
good
know.
that we're not shortening Titania.
I know very I know very little about this Fey couple and what they do and whether or not they've ever, been here or vacationed in the local waters.
What if they know who I am?
broke there.
They've
What
been
if-
here.
What if Tristan knows who you are? He's been here for at least, seemingly, a very long number of years.
I don't know how many that is.
We don't know how what if he was a child when his father passed? It seems not. He took over the business. That'd be very weird if he was like 9 and running a tavern.
Yeah, he did say he said he's been running it for 60
60
years,
years,
and his
yeah.
father 30 before that.
Sure.
So, yeah, he's at least 60.
Mm-hmm. That's if he took over
That's
as an
if he took
infant.
over as an infant. Yeah. Born
That's what
dead.
I'm saying. Is that like
He's at least 61.
yeah.
He's been running it for 60 years and his father
I
for
don't know
30, or was
how
it
age
the other
the
way
Feywild works.
around?
His father for 30. He's been at least 30. He's been running it for 60.
Okay, I got that mixed up.
I mean, it can't hurt to ask. It's not like we're disclosing what you're here for, as long as you don't say you're specifically doing what you're doing and that Ron lost it.
I'm gonna sit back real relaxed.
Yeah, your back feels great.
Not gonna say a word.
What if he tells Titania?
Tells Titania what? That you're here?
Does everyone talk to Titania and Ron?
Does it matter to Titania that you're here?
She can't know that I'm here.
Why?
Does she not know that you're gone?
No.
I mean, what are you to
How long
Titania?
have you been gone?
Like 7 days. I found her ago, approximately, maybe 8 or 9.
That many?
How does she not know that you're gone?
I don't think Oberon would tell her.
What do you do
how
for
many
Titania
days?
that it matters that you're gone?
Nothing,
It's
but
been
she
longer
might
than
she might
7.
know. It'd
Yeah, I
be
think
weird
it's
if I
been
was
like
gone,
9.
Why would it be weird if you were gone?
because I've always been there.
Did Titania know that?
Yes.
Did you ask? Like, do you know who I am, Miss Titania? Have you ever spoken to Titania?
Does she have a
No.
nickname?
Yeah. Tits and Ron. Yeah, that classic Feywild couple.
Yeah, I would say that you've obviously seen Titania. You've never spoken to her.
You didn't say.
I'm very small.
As far as
She's
you can,
very
yeah, as far
large.
as you can recollect, anyway.
All right. Well then.
Maybe she hasn't noticed then.
Yeah. Maybe she doesn't even know who you are. Maybe that's why Ron picked you.
She's seen me.
Sure.
Does
She doesn't know your name. She doesn't know what you look like now. You're bigger.
Yes, she wouldn't know that you're going by Dandelion. That's what Marcus calls you.
Yeah. You didn't even have a name before. So what? That's fine.
I'm much bigger now.
Yeah. You're bigger. You've got your own new name. You've got a clown.
I didn't have a clown before. That's true.
I'm certain that does something for us. Somehow. Sure, if Titania, looked in through some kind of portal or something, she would go, "Oh my god, look, a clown!" And probably not notice you. I think that tracks, right, Rin?
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Unlikely, but yeah.
Nothing to worry about, Dandelion.
I'm kind of like maybe a little worried. Probably, but oh well.
And on that note, Dristan walks back over with a small piece of parchment.
kind of funny. my thought exactly.
Well, what can I get all of you? Tell me the types of things you're interested in, and I'll tell you if we have it.
Sunny days and long walks on the beach.
Well, I can give you a drink that'll make it feel like that.
That sounds lovely.
Sure. Food-wise, though?
Ooh. Well, if we're going,
all of our vegetables are fresh and homegrown. The meats are brought in from outside.
sounds lovely.
Not outside the building, just further away.
Sure. I guess if you're growing gourds, I would go with some squash, and if you have any kind of fish from that river.
Sure, absolutely. Yes.
Dandelion.
Something tasty.
All right.
Yeah. That sounds brilliant.
What are you writing?
Something tasty.
That took me way too long.
Ham and cheese sandwich.
I'll gesture to Marcus and I'll be like, I'll have what he's having beverage wise. I'll also have a Bay Breeze. Wives.
Just Marcus and Ren, the beverage wives of Adoris.
We're real beverage wives of Adoris.
Tune in next week to see what happened to those horses people will kill for. Surprise me, but no peppers. And I'll wink at Dandelion.
Of course, no
They know that.
peppers.
Yeah, dude, probably.
For you?
Just gesture at Dandelion.
All right. For you.
The usual.
Of course.
Do they ask?
No.
I'm going to make you explain it one day.
Drinks
Maybe on a
for
podcast.
anybody aside from you two?
Just delicious Bay Breezes all night for Marcus. It's been a long journey.
Water, tea.
Do you have honey?
Yes.
A drink with honey?
I think tea, then. We'll do. Lovely. Okay. For you?
Pointing at Dandelion.
All right.
Hold the milk.
Sure. Honey? All right. And the usual. All right.
Tea.
Sure.
Whatever the usual is for tea.
Of course. Yes. Well, I'll be with you in a moment. Let me go start that. And he kind of thinks to himself for a moment. I think we could use a bit of rain tonight. It's been dry the last few days. Mr. Turner, if you wouldn't mind, and you see a human man stand from the bar, looks to be about mid-30s, and he walks over. Of course, and he walks out the door, and you see a glowing of light for a moment, and then you hear a pitter-pattering of rain on the roof above.
It's a very nice trick. That's Mr. Turner's job here.
Yes, Kenrick Turner. He's our rain caller.
Kenrick or Kendrick?
Kenrick.
Does that mean he's wet stand now?
Is that with a CK or with a K?
Kenrick.
Please describe him in great detail.
Sure. Yeah, so he looks to be about mid-30s. He has green eyes, brown hair, fairly short-cut hair. He is wearing a silver robe. Looks to be fairly commonly dressed. No markings that you can see. But he is outside currently.
Clean shaven.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clean shaven.
Human face.
Human face, yes.
Very good.
He's wearing a human face.
Yes, he has
Much
another-
like Twig.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she's gonna wake up in the middle of the night and they're gonna think she's a monster. Good god, a demon! All right, shush.
They've come to finish off a halfling. Don't worry, I'll kill for these horses.
But I'll be back in a moment.
Thank you.
And we'll talk.
Thank you.
He walks off into the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine to talk about all the things that we need to know, and maybe he has wonderful stories of his time inside of the Feywild, because your stories have been sadly a little bit limited from your memories. You were also very small,
I was very small.
so I'm not sure how far you could have gone inside of the Feywild. Takes a long time for a small thing to fly.
I stayed mostly in a room.
Thinking perhaps you meant that her memories are smaller because she was small.
Possibly. You stayed in a room?
It was a really big room.
What did the room look like?
It was Oberon's room.
Oberon's room? Were you in like a jar?
No.
Ron's room.
What did you do in Ron's room?
I would draw pictures, tidy things up.
You were like a maid?
No.
You would draw pictures and tidy things up.
Listen to stories.
That Ron would tell?
Yes.
Is he training you to take over the family business?
What kind of stories would
There's
Ron
no
tell?
escape.
Lots of stories.
Like
Some stories about here.
this tavern?
No. No, this place.
Understood.
Where the humans are.
Yes. Okay. What about where the humans are? They consult my small memories.
Yes, I believe you told us this story before, didn't you?
I think so. About when did I tell?
Did you tell Gavin the thief?
No.
No. It was Lyrical, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. The swords. Mm.
Stories like that. Stories of the courts as well.
Courts? Was Ron like a good 3-point shooter?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Put it up, Ron! Tanya's just dominating the paint. She's got like 18 points a game.
TM.
Dude, Feywild basketball sounds dope as fuck.
Face
You got
football.
owlbear mascots?
Make it
Done.
happen.
One shots.
I'm so ready.
Right?
The fairy courts.
One shots. I want it in the campaign.
Yeah, right. That's why we're
I want to go to the Feywild.
Don't write that down. No.
Oh,
It's too
oh,
late,
the
Zach.
pillow. We literally had a pillow fight underneath the Pillow King
Yeah,
ring.
dude, if we don't have to save your life by beating Ron in a fucking like 5v5
you're
pickup
beating
game,
Ron in basketball.
We'll be blouses, of course.
yeah, of course.
Look, I'm not going to tell you that Las Vegas is not in there also, okay? Like, I thought that, like, immediately.
Oh, that's so good.
Not going to say that it's not in there.
Oh man, I want to go now. Let's go back to that tree.
Yeah, no, I can't wait for this dude to tell us how to get to the Feywild. So he's just
Can
Viva
we
Las
use our
Vegas.
stats to like influence our basketball moves? Like use Dex to like break their ankles?
Oh, please, yes. Oh shit, I'll be taking haste after all.
Also, I guess, would I have ever heard this guy's name?
No.
Okay.
So you stayed in Ron's room, you tidied things up, you listened to stories, and you drew pictures.
Those are some of the things I did.
What other things did you do? Did you ever leave the room?
Sometimes, when he would go out, he would take me with him.
I mean, she was very small.
Yeah.
A room at that size is
Like a world? Sure.
immense.
It's very large.
Where did you go with Ron?
Sometimes he would travel.
To here?
No.
Just around the Feywild? Did you
Also very
ever
large.
attend courts?
Not only the parties.
Yes, the after game parties.
They would have pancakes.
Took us in his house. Here's pancakes. God damn it, Ron.
I like him now.
Right? Dude, I really want to go hang out with Ron.
As you guys are sitting talking, you hear a voice from behind you. Holy shit, Marcus?
I mean, I guess I'll turn around when someone says my fucking name.
There's nobody there. No.
Ron?
Welcome to your nightmare.
Oh yeah, Ron, it's down there.
So you see somebody that you recognize from Goldview.
Sure.
17-year-old kid, one of your relatively good friends, Edwin, who went missing 2 years ago during one of the bandit raids.
17. Mm-hmm. Missing for 2 years. My good friend Edwin.
And as you turn around, you can see that he
Recognize that voice anywhere, of course.
he's wearing like kind of ill-fitting clothing that's like a little bit baggy in areas, and the sleeves are rolled up, covering his arms. They're like all the way down to his wrists. And you can see that his hair looks to be like longer than you remember it.
Sure.
Significantly longer than you remember it.
2 years long.
2 years longer than you remember it.
Yeah.
And kind of frayed in a couple spots.
Good Lord, Edwin, it's good to... I'm going to stand up from my chair and embrace this man.
How did you get
I'm going to
here?
embrace this
Yeah,
man.
no, he is embracing you. Sorry.
He's not hugging back at all. He's just like, Marcus, this is weird. We were never hugging each other.
Where's your shirt?
Good friends, you should remember. I've never hugged you once. You're shirtless.
That's how I travel now.
Just heard you flirting with the innkeeper and his wife.
Talking about beating some dude named Ron in a pickup game of basketball. You've changed, Marcus.
I think Las Vegas was mentioned.
And I'm going to embrace this man.
He embraces you.
Thank you.
How did you get here?
We have a horse and a carriage. How did you get here?
I escaped about a month ago.
Were you in the mountains?
No, in Southport.
Where in Southport were you being held?
The docks.
They had
went
you
out.
working.
Yeah, out on some ships to look for something under the waters.
Yeah, I would part and just kind of like put my hands on his shoulders and just... You look hungry, friend.
I'm all right now. I certainly was when I got here.
Do you have to walk here?
Yeah, I walked.
I would look down at his feet. Does he have like boots?
Yeah, he is like they look to be like used boots
Mm-hmm.
on. Yeah.
Dressed like the other dock workers that we would have seen.
No. This looks to be similar to the clothing that Dristan had on, which is why it looks baggy.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Very large.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what does he look like in terms of stature in relation to me? I'm like 6'5" and...
Yeah, so he's a foot
Small.
shorter than you, so he's about 5'5".
Nice.
He has long...
So his face was just right
Yeah.
here.
My boy!
Just shirtless.
Enjoy some
chest
skin-to-skin
to the
contact.
Just sweaty pats all into his cheeks.
I embrace this man. Marcus, this is weird.
It's
Hug me
good
back.
to
It's
see
less
you.
weird if you hug back. I'm not letting go until you hug back.
Oh my god.
Just get your face in there, buddy.
Yeah, I guess I would just pat him on the shoulders and, after looking at his attire, I would pull out, we'll go with 8 gold.
Mm-hmm.
I did my best to assist the other people. My friends and I were able to collect people from Goldview who had been taken into the mountains.
Oh, I'm glad they're all right. I hadn't seen anybody else from Goldview in quite some time.
Yes.
Uh,
Hand him the 8 gold.
Yeah, he takes it and puts it in his pockets, and he just like keeps pushing his sleeves down.
You alright?
I'm alive. So, these people have been very kind. I've been working to pay for a room.
Did they treat you very poorly for those 2 years?
Yes. We were fed, but not a
Uh-huh.
lot. Not well. Basic needs and all that.
Yeah,
Enough to keep our strength up so we could swim.
certainly. You said you were being used on boats to look for things?
Yeah.
Trawlers?
Swimming. Trying to find things under the water in the shipwrecks. We're small, able to get in there.
Would you like to join us for dinner, Edwin?
Please, yes, thank you. Yeah, he just takes a seat.
Drag a chair over.
Yep.
Put him, I guess, on the opposite side of me to my left, so this way Dandelion stays adjacent to me on my other side.
Sure.
Yeah.
And he just...
Pull a chair and I would look. Has Turner come back inside from having conjured water?
No, he's still outside.
Okay, he's still actively
Yeah, he's
doing
still
it.
outside. You can hear it kind of like
Sure.
moving around.
Did I see the direction into where inside the tavern that Tristan would have gone for?
Yeah, behind
Okay.
the counter in the center.
Sure.
And into like a small room.
Sure. Yeah, I would just look at Edwin. What would you like to eat, friend? Something hearty and filling?
Yeah, that would be good. They've been feeding me and everything, thankfully, but
Seem like good people.
Yes, they're very kind.
Yeah.
Can never say no to more. Hi, everyone. Edwin.
I'll nod.
It's from my town. Yeah, I would just go over towards the area where Tristan went through and just, did he go behind a door?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just knock and just, after I knock, I would just yell, Tristan, forgive me, Edwin is going to join us for dinner if you don't mind, some kind of hearty stew with some good meats and root vegetables for him, please.
Of course. Do you know each other or just chatting?
It's from my hometown.
Oh, what a coincidence. Well, yes, of course. I'll bring something for him as well.
Thank you.
It's a good boy.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I would head back over to the table.
Marcus, does it seem like he's close to being done?
Probably. I'd say it's been several moments. Most likely he'll be done soon, and ideally Edwin's food would be out only a few minutes later.
All right, good.
Very hungry.
Yes.
It's been a long day. Well, 2 years is a long time to have been gone.
Yeah.
Did they take you to the docks immediately?
Yeah, that's where I was taken. They split off pretty much everybody else. Anybody that was bigger, stronger, kind of small. So I went to the docks, I guess. You said there was a mountain. I didn't know where anybody else went.
Yes. South into the forest. The edge of the mountain range there was a mine. And they were looking for silver and iron. Many of the others were taken there.
All right. You said you rescued them. Are they okay?
Many of them live, yes. Ferried them along safely back to Lakemount.
Good.
If you would like to join them. Would I have, in the time in which I was interacting with them, Edwin's family, anybody related to Edwin, parents, cousins, siblings?
Yeah, I would say his uncle, probably.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, not his direct family, but
Yep. Yeah,
somebody
I
he
would-
knows.
Yep, I would tell him that his
Sure.
uncle is there.
I'll have to travel there. I do quite like it here. I think I'd like to recover a bit more before I head there, but that sounds wonderful. I would love to see everyone again.
Yes. Even if you would just like to visit and say hello to everyone once more.
Yes.
Still, I'm sure find a new home back here with Tristan. And
It's very peaceful.
yes,
They're very kind.
I seem it. You said they fed you very little. Did they hurt you?
No. No, they just... I mean, they fed us enough, but not nourishing food. Enough to give us energy, but not enjoyable.
Did they hurt you?
No. Not on the docks, anyway. I don't know if the people in the mines were harmed, but we weren't harmed there. We weren't able to leave, but I suppose there could be worse things.
And how did you escape?
A guard fell asleep.
On the docks?
Yes, and I was able to sneak away in the dark when the boat returned at night. They caught me once before.
Trying to sneak away?
Yeah, and he rolls up his sleeve, and you can see that there is a like a tattooed branding on his arm of a P, and you can see that inscribed in it, it says FFTC for Fjordane's Finest Trading Company.
A large P, and then inside the opening of the P?
Like along the curve of the P.
Okay.
Yeah.
Made sure I couldn't alert a guard or anything if I managed to escape again, so I fled. Try to cover it up.
Well, we happen to be in the process of, I suppose you could say, dismantling that group of people.
Glad that no one else will have to go through that again.
Yes. We at least, well, handled what was there in Southport. In some regards, we took the docks, took the gambling halls, we took the town to the south, and the mine.
Good. I'm happy to be free and happy to be at peace, I suppose.
Yes. I don't blame you. 2 years is a very long time, friend.
Yes. You'll all like it here. It's especially nice at night, if you get a chance to look at the stars.
Yes, it sounds quite peaceful here. That gentleman Turner's doing a very good job with the rain and the water wheel.
Yes, I'm not sure how he does that, but he's able to control some amounts of the rain at least. Some type of magic, I didn't ask.
When you were swimming, did you ever find anything?
Nothing of interest. We found a couple of small things that we thought might have been something. Trinkets, weapons, but nothing that ever amounted to anything, not that they told us anyway.
Did they tell you to search for anything in particular?
They gave us descriptions of a few different chalices and swords and things of that nature, but anything we could find that was magical in nature, we were told to take.
Things that they suspected were out there?
Yes. But I don't think we found exactly what they were looking for.
When you look, are they shipwrecks? Or are they just...
Shipwrecks, yes. There's some crates and things of that nature, but
Sure.
mostly searching the wreckage, yes.
Do the boats have names or monikers or identifying marks for a company or a fleet of some kind?
Some of them were merchant ships from Trador. Many of the names were rotted off. Hard to tell.
Certainly.
They had us looking for mostly anything we could determine was older. Things that had really deteriorated. More dangerous with the current, but more likely to contain whatever they were looking for.
Certainly. And when you brought these things back, you said none of them were of value?
Not that they weren't of value, but not exactly what they were looking for.
Do you remember any of the items in particular? Descriptions, qualities, purposes? Did any of them have a story?
They didn't give us much.
Just physical descriptions?
Yeah, things that we were looking for. I overheard them talking about Lathander at some point, but I'm not sure of much more than that.
Did you hear any peculiar names other than Lathander?
Leopold. Gavin. It's a normal name, but amongst the others it stood out.
What did they do with the things you brought that they did not want?
Sent them away somewhere. I'm not sure where. But they never indicated it was exactly what they were looking for anyway. As we still looked for them until I escaped.
How many of you did they have searching?
About 25.
And you said you never found anything. Were any of your compatriots able to find anything?
I'm not sure about the other groups. They sent us out in groups of 5 so that none of us would get lost at sea.
Your group did not find anything.
No.
They have you searching the same areas.
It was spread out, sometimes a day away by ship.
South or north?
West. Sorry, east.
Into the land.
No wonder you guys didn't find anything you were digging. Not
Just opened a portal and sent us straight west.
east, directly out into the water.
Yes. They varied north and south a bit, but definitively east, I could tell by the sun.
Are either of the innkeepers in sight?
No, you can hear them like plating things.
I don't know anything about Ron.
I will take out my drawing of the mirror
Quick!
and slide it over, like in front of Marcus towards this person.
My friend is looking for a very particular mirror.
Have you seen this?
Not that exactly. There were other ones.
Mirrors?
Yeah, kind of like that, but not that exact styling. But similar. Most of them were broken.
The framing or the glass?
The glass. We didn't find exactly that, but there were a couple that we brought back, but similar to that. But not that exact one.
They had you looking for mirrors, or you just happened upon them?
Yes, looking for mirrors. Kind of styled like that, but not exactly the same, different markings.
Do you happen to recall which location they had you searching for this mirror?
That was fairly directly west.
East.
Fuck. East.
It's in the forest.
It's in the, few days out by ship.
Did they tell you a name of the shipwreck you were searching, or did you happen to see a name?
I didn't, but that was one of the things they were talking about Lathander with. Something about water. I don't know. Sorry.
And no indication of what ship they expected it to be on?
One of the old ones.
Something
Sorry.
that had been out there a while.
Yeah. Very old. It was mostly what my group targeted. The very dilapidated ones.
Did you ever meet or speak with any of the people from the Iron Crown? While you worked on the dock?
I saw them, but I didn't speak with them directly, no. Our handlers did.
Certainly. Was it usually multiple people on behalf of the Iron Crown?
It depends on what they had thought we found.
Certainly they would send more if they were
More certain that it was something, yes.
sure.
Have you seen this person? And I'll show him
Mm-hmm.
my drawing that I did
Yeah.
of what's his face?
Velthruel, right?
Yeah.
So as Dandelion is showing him that, I'm going to get up from the table. I'm assuming there's a window near the door. I'm going to look out the window to look
Sure.
for Mr. Turner.
Yeah, you can see that he has like scribed something on the ground in chalk and is like swirling his hands in the air, and you see clouds like slowly turning above, only in this clearing.
Does the chalk immediately wash away?
As the
Because it's
raindrops
chalk.
start to drop, yes, you do
Okay.
see that it does begin to wash away. you can see that there are faint markings on the ground of the spot that he's standing of like residue from obviously him doing this previously.
Okay.
Almost like a like if you cover something for so long that when the other stuff gets like stained from the sun and you pick it up, it's the original color. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
You can see like some amount of remnants having you get what I'm,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you get what I'm getting
you
at.
said he was wearing a silver robe and common clothes.
Yes.
Edwin, what is he wearing?
Edwin has a like baggy green shirt on,
Okay.
and like brown pants.
All right.
Yeah, just very basic stuff.
All right. I'll just observe what's going on outside.
Yeah.
Till food's ready.
Sure. Yeah, you just see as he just like slowly rotates, and you can see out like of the clearing towards the road. It's obviously dark. There's a lot of lanterns in here, but from the illumination of the like moonlight, it does not appear to be raining or cloudy outside of this clearing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only in the direct vicinity that this is being affected.
Picture.
No, I'm sorry. I don't recognize him.
What that always is.
Uh,
It's a very bad drawing, so.
Yeah. Maybe, but it's kind of hard to tell. I only saw them for a moment and it was dark when we returned. They tried to keep us out of sight for obvious reasons. As much as possible. I don't know why they wanted those things, but word relic came up a few times.
But it's the thing that we've been hearing more of.
Powerful items, I'm sure, but to go to such great lengths to get them, I am worried if someone were to find them, what they would do with them.
As am I. When you were on the docks and you saw the people of the Iron Crown, I know you didn't speak with them. Did you by any chance ever hear where they came from?
Yeah, from across the Mistlands, it sounded elvish. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Sound like Yothalna?
Yeah, that's the one.
That makes sense.
Why does that make sense to you?
That's where the elves are. That's where the Iron Crown seems to be going.
Mm-hmm. It's a very good point, Dandelion.
I think I'm going to have to go there.
To where the elves are?
Yeah.
Probably.
Mm.
A few more minutes go by and you see Tristan walk out holding a large tray of food, and he walks over to everybody. Everyone hungry?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Of course. And he sets out fish and squash in front of you, along with a swirling beverage of a red and orange liquid in front of you. He sets the same drink in front of you. You have a large piece of fish with like chopped roasted potatoes. No peppers as requested.
Of course.
In front of Dandelion, you have a medley of vegetables, tea with honey, and some rice. You have the same. And you have like a roasted meat with a pile of roasted potatoes and a like large salad on the side and tea that smells floral.
Always order the usual.
Thank
I'll
you.
look right at Ran.
Of course. And in
You
front
could have surprised me with the usual. I
um,
said surprise me.
Yeah, in front of Edwin, he
The wrong
sets
choice away.
Big
pretty
pot
much-
of stew.
big pot of stew. Yeah, and he takes a seat at the other end of the table.
Well, I'm certainly glad you all made your way here. I didn't think I'd see another from the Feywild again. Rather hard to get here these days.
Again?
Yes. Well, not her, but someone from the Feywild.
Let's just start shopping food.
Yeah, I've returned to the table. I'm eating. I'm eating rather
Yeah.
quickly.
Sure.
Did you grow up in the Feywild?
Yes, till I was about 10, and then I came here.
Your parents as well, then, I assume.
Yes, we stayed here. They tried to make this as much like the Feywild as they could, so it was not quite as much of a shock for me, along with some... This is going to sound strange. Energy from the Feywild has kind of leached into the ground here.
That does sound strange.
Yes.
I'm going to need you to explain it.
What?
Well,
What's that?
so you did ask
Energy.
how one gets to the Feywild, and that is kind of why I am here. I'm a protector of one of the rings, hence the name. My father being the Raven, I am now the Raven, and we guard the ring. It's a portal of sorts.
I was about to say, that was like lovely. Kylo Ren-esque draw the rapier.
It's a portal of sorts. It's one of the original Fey crossing portals between the Feywild and the material plane. The portal uses Amninar, Fey water, that exists in both the material plane and the Feywild. How much do any of you know about the Feywild, aside from...
Nothing. This is very enlightening.
Very little.
Sure.
Go on.
Do you tell all the travelers about your ring? I hope you wouldn't.
No, of course not. Only because of her.
Okay.
Present company.
Of
A little bit different than most.
Can you spell the Fey water name?
Yes.
The normal way, I assume.
Yeah, the normal way.
Naturally.
A-M-N-E-N-A-R.
I'm sorry, what? Could you spell it again?
A-M-N-E-N-A-R.
That is how I would have spelled that.
Yeah. And it means Fey water in Elvish.
So the Feywild is another plane of existence. It is shaped the same as this one. Where land ends here, land ends there.
Now, when you say plane of existence,
that is a bit hard to explain.
I can. I'll. Would you? So, I'll look at Shay and I'll just gesture. It's kind of like a hand.
okay.
We're
listening.
We're here.
Mm-hmm.
The Feywild's here.
Those are two hands.
Right. It's a different hand.
But shaped the same as this hand.
Those hands are facing in different directions.
Yes.
Why are they facing in different directions?
Don't worry about that. We start with the
You
basics.
just said
Shay.
it's shaped the same.
Shay, we start with the basics
Said
here.
it's-
Yeah, sure.
Those hands are facing in different directions.
Okay, and you
mean
need.
like this. No, the other one. Like this.
Yeah, and you need
Yes.
a doorway or a portal to
Are
travel
they like
between
this, or are they like this?
No, other way.
Are they this close?
The
Further apart?
Distance is irrelevant.
How far apart are they?
As he says, it's not really a distance. It's here, but not here.
Excuse me?
It's kind of hard to explain.
He doesn't do
stealth
magic
check.
very well. He's and I'll just like lean back a little and try to hide it from Shay. Do you want me to roll sleight of hand? I'll do it. Ooh, that's a 9.
21.
Nope. Yeah, you see it. It's very obvious. But does that make sense?
Excuse me?
Does that make sense?
The hand?
Yeah.
You didn't finish your point. You said
They're here, like this. We're here. The Feywild's here. And like the tree we saw, the...
different hands.
Right. And you need a portal to get to it. You can't go there physically any other way.
Yes, that's correct. And we guard one of these portals.
How many are there?
I'm not sure entirely.
Say 9.
They're kept secret intentionally. The guardians of this one only know the location of this one. I'm not
Can
sure.
we see it?
So, would you consider yourself a guardian?
I suppose so, yes, a protector of sorts.
Just dart my eyes at Mr. Pigeon.
But
Look around.
Feywater is where areas in the material plane and the Feywild cross. A lake exists in the Feywild that also exists here in the same location of the same shape. Those waters are linked. Therefore, it is Feywater. That water can be used to create this portal. Most of it has dried up, and I've not heard of any in quite some time, but still we protect the portal.
Is the portal a physical location? It was here
Yes,
already.
under your feet. We built on top. Not below the floor.
Hidden in plain sight.
Yes,
In the basement?
yes. It's a small cave.
Well, I know where I'm sneaking tonight.
I want to go to Las Vegas. Why are you shaking your head no?
I'm eating.
Uh-huh.
My mouth has not been unfull of food through this whole conversation. Because if I say anything, I can't say anything.
Do you know why your family left?
Just the next people in line to guard the portal. I believe they volunteered.
All right. Who chooses the people to guard the portal?
The elders.
Elders?
Yes, it's a small grouping of people that...
Like a council?
Yes, exactly.
In a court?
Mm-hmm.
Are there
These elders have
Yeah, I
names.
put down my fork.
I know you.
Are there any how many members are in this court that make these decisions? What are their names and locations? Please send them to
Their
Nesgrim.
lineages.
I've not met them personally.
Do you know their names?
I don't.
You don't know any of their names?
No, Oberon and Titania are two of them, but that's
Do they have nicknames?
Rontits.
Oh, they're a power couple. I see.
Yes. No, they sit on the council, but that makes sense.
They're the only two.
They're the only two I know of.
Not really a council. It's more like a monarchy.
There's 9 of them,
Oh,
Including those two, or there's 9 people and those
including
two?
those two. There are 7
Got it.
others. Yes. But yes, we are protectors of one of these rings, and my father, whose nickname was the Raven.
Why?
Each of them.
I'm just gonna look at the raven that's on my shoulder.
I mean, I need to know why.
Isn't it obvious?
Each of the guardians is gifted with an animal name. My father chose a raven.
Did he know the names of the council members?
My
Probably.
God!
Why didn't he tell you?
I don't know.
Shouldn't
Raven.
you know? You're the guardian.
I don't really have a way to communicate with them anyway.
You've been here for how long?
60 years?
How old are you?
90?
Your
I'm just gonna like shake my head and mutter under my breath. Waste.
My father was the Raven. I am now the Raven. And he whistles, and you see a bird fly from the rafters and land on his arm.
Please tell me it's anything but a raven.
So it is a raven.
Ooh, what does it look
However,
like?
It has very long
feathers, like longer than a raven would have, and large, like tufts coming off the top of its head.
It's a long raven.
And the black feathers shimmer with a blue and green hue.
Mine's cooler.
Same size as a raven, otherwise, other than just the lengths of the feathers.
Mm-hmm.
So, regular raven size. Puffy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, longer feathers and like big tufts that are like very long and thin off of its head. The raven, and points down below his feet. The ring.
Yes.
Why are you the raven? That's the raven.
Well, the names are passed down from guardian to guardian within the same family. So when my father passed on, I became the raven.
Is this your father's raven, then?
In a way, I suppose. When my father passed, my mother passed a few days later. She went out into the fields and slept among the stars and passed on, and the next morning the raven appeared to me.
Did your father have a raven?
No, but
So why was
my-
he called the raven?
just the name that he was given. It's,
I was just confused because you gestured at the raven like that was the reason that you're the... Never mind.
I'm
Sorry.
going to cast Detect Magic.
sure.
And if the raven gives off any sort of...
Yeah, I mean, it appears to be a familiar.
Okay.
I'm gonna make eye contact with the raven.
Yeah, it just kind of looks at you. But my father had green eyes and my mother had blue, and it appeared right after her death. I assume it contains a piece of them.
Certainly. And the raven has been with you ever since?
Yes.
What do you mean by contains a piece of them?
The colors. I can't believe it's a coincidence that it matches the colors of their eyes.
I can't believe it's not his parents.
And it appeared after both of their deaths, and I assume that they are watching somehow.
Sorry, son of a bitch. So it just appeared after their death? How long after their death?
The next day after my mother passed. Following morning.
Did you... I'm sorry, did you find her in the fields?
Yes.
Okay.
Was she near a brazier with approximately 10 gold worth of charcoal?
No.
Okay, that's odd. So, okay.
Have you ever spoken to it? Or has it ever spoken to you?
I have tried. I've not gotten words from it. Sort of a feeling of emotion, but not physical words, if that makes sense.
Things to intuit and convey?
Yes.
Sure.
Have I ever heard of anything like that occurring?
No.
Didn't think so. Okay.
What, the familiar?
No, the
Mm,
conveyance of emotion and stuff like that through a familiar.
no, I thought they could convey emotion. They can convey emotion. I'm talking about the familiar
Sure.
appearing after a death with
Got it.
strange features and what happens if I stab it? I don't know. Can you bring it back? Is it gone forever?
Yeah.
So I've definitely
I gotta do this for science.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry.
No, you've not heard of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, so there's a portal here to the Feywild.
Has anyone ever come through?
No. Not since I've been here.
Would you permit us passage
I can't open it.
if we could?
If you have Feywater, which I don't think any of you do.
It's time for you to work up a sweat. Just
But should you find Feywater somewhere, of course, yes. I'll show it to you after dinner.
So I'm assuming it only comes from the Feywilds then. The Feywater.
Well, that
Can
is...
it be found here?
Feywater is found in locations where bodies of water overlap between here and the Feywild. Lakes, ponds,
If a lake exists in the Feywild and exists here, that water is Fey water.
I thought you said the hands were the same shape.
They are, but the features are not. They are the same shape, but should you have a freckle
Those
on
are
your
different
hand,
shapes.
well, the shapes would be the same, but a feature on the hand may be different.
Lakes aren't. Lakes are shapes.
But the contents would be features.
Yes.
But the.
I thought you understood hands.
I don't think you understand hands.
I definitely do.
If I carved a hole into one of your hands, they would not be the same shape.
We're not talking about holes here, Shay.
We're talking about lakes.
Not everything has to do with knives and
which are
stabbing.
like basins.
The outline shape, not the...
You're saying there would be a basin in both places?
Yes, if there was, that water there would be Fey water.
While he's describing this, would I be able to cast silent image
Mm-hmm.
and make like, you know, the woods and the trees and stuff?
Sure.
And then an overlapping image of like the Feywild
Yeah.
over top. Like different shapes and everything, but like some similarities.
Are they the same shape or are they different shapes? Same.
Shoveling food.
You said your family built a tavern here?
Yes. To protect the ring.
Yes. Was there nothing here before then?
Just a smaller building. We expanded.
Certainly.
There were other guardians before us, but
And your father and mother relieved them of their work?
yes, they retired. And went back home.
Through the portal.
Yes.
They took all of their fair water.
Well, everyone has a small container of it, enough for one passage. Ours has been used, but it can be collected, but I've not found any, and I can't stray too far from the portal. I do have to protect it.
Certainly.
It is my duty.
And an honorable one at that, sir.
I enjoy being able to help people such as yourselves and honor my parents and protect this place. It is magical in nature, and I care for it a great deal.
How far down is the portal?
About 30 feet. There's
So
a
it's-
cave.
Okay, so it is within range then.
Mhm.
So do I sense? I'm assuming I sense
Uh,
from detect magic.
It's literally under the ground.
Yeah.
I don't have to see it.
I think it's.
There's
I think if it's.
There are
if there's-
restrictions
material
on
between.
thickness.
There's restrictions on
Okay.
how much material is between.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's blocked
specifically
by 1
references
foot
an
of
amount of dirt.
stone. Yeah, it's
Oh,
blocked.
okay.
by-
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't read that.
Yeah,
part.
if
Okay.
it's
Gotcha.
literally in a different level.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to detect it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you mind if I go take a look?
Of course, after we eat, I'll take
Good
everyone
thing
to
I'm
take a
done.
look.
He said he was going to take us after we're done eating.
It will
I'll
only
sit
be-
here and with my fork and knife crossed, like I'm done.
Forgive the young master, he's very eager.
I understand that.
Burn out your spell slot.
Magic is wonderful.
I'm eating.
I'm running out of food because I've just been.
Yeah, shoveling it down.
Can't wait till we're all eating because we've been talking and she doesn't have any food left. This is gonna be awesome.
You could take my friends and I would stay with Edwin.
Sure. It's all right.
Thank you.
Of course. Everyone is done eating then. Suppose we'll head downstairs.
Hmm?
I'll do it the other way. If you want to talk to Edwin, or
There are a couple of things I want to ask, but I'm fine with them going first.
Sure.
It's easier to have the one person
yeah,
leave.
sure, that's fair.
Enjoy your ring.
Uh-oh.
totally letting you talk. I'm totally letting you talk. He's
I'm
not
gonna
stopping you.
yeah. I mean, if you think I'm not gonna ask
You're
probing
doomed.
questions, like you're out of your mind.
Absolutely letting you talk.
Yeah, so you guys stand and he leads you. Before he does so, you see that he reaches up above his head, and where this large spinning wooden log is, he pushes something into the wall, and the log slowly stops rotating. And he leads you over to behind the counter, in through the kitchen. You can see where this log comes through the wall and descends to something that's spinning. And as it stops, he rotates it into place, and you can see that there is a doorway that he lowers as he swings it into place that was being masked by the fact that this was spinning.
As he's dealing with getting passageways open, I'll lean over to Dandelion. Did Ron not send you with any water?
I wasn't.
Nope.
How did he expect you to get back?
I didn't go through a portal.
You didn't go through a portal?
Not like this, I don't think.
Yeah, she just woke up in a field.
You gave us water.
Hmm?
You son of a bitch. Nothing.
Do you know where any of this water's at?
Probably
Not that you're ready to go back, but
probably in the woods, in the water, somewhere.
we're just gonna have to gather all the water. Throw it at the water.
I mean, I can ask if we find some water.
You could ask Ron. Would Ron know where the water's at?
So bad we call him Ron. It's just like
We have to. It's code.
It's so funny.
I'm not trying to blow Dandelion's cover. Raiden.
yeah, so he swings it into place and lowers this wooden doorway down, and you can see that there's a staircase at floor level that leads downward. And he beckons to you all and starts walking down.
This might be how I
Follow.
can get back when I'm done.
I don't believe he used all his water. Why would he have used all of his water and not just got more while he was there?
He said there's nothing nearby.
What?
It wouldn't be nearby on the other side either.
But certainly
It's the same.
somebody on the other side could have brought water to him.
They would have to know where it is. It's just as rare over there as it is here.
Rare?
You don't know any other portals?
No.
Didn't you say there were oceans?
Yes.
You wouldn't know any other portals. You lived in a room.
It's true. There are no portals in the room.
We should ask Ron about the other portals. You should ask Ron about the other portals.
He probably knows.
Probably.
He's very important.
Can he give you water? If he's in the water, does that mean that water is in the same place as water that's here when you're looking in the water?
My thoughts exactly, Shay.
We just scoop some of that water.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
We're gonna find out.
It's like hands. And I start to go in the explanation again that I
Not
gave
with
Shay.
the hands again. I don't think it's like
You-
that. Not quite like
you,
that.
No, don't butt in.
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I don't think you understand descriptions.
I don't think you understand the language.
I'm gonna press the digitation and make it smell like shit around your face.
I'm over it.
Yeah, so you guys make your way down this wooden spiral staircase that leads down to a stone hallway that descends downward that seems to be like not naturally cut, just kind of steps back and forth. And you can see that he descends down that with a lantern, and you grab another one off of the wall that's lit and make your way down. And the further down you get, you start to see colored vines kind of like creeping up the stairway, and flowers and leaves kind of blooming in the like cracks and crevices of this stone. And you make your way down what feels about 30 feet, and it opens up into a large cave that he illuminates with lanterns around. And in the center, you see a ring made out of roots that extends up and twirls around with leaves, and at the top you can see there is a large basin made of wood at the top of this, but this whole thing appears to be made of tree roots that connects at the top, and you can see that there are flowers and bright colored leaves and things on it as it descends out of the ground, and you can see that the vines that climb up the walls of the stone come out from where this is and creak their way along. This is the ring.
You'll have to forgive the smell. I don't think that fancy drink settled well with the young master's stomach.
It's all right. He walks over to a barrel on the side and scoops up water. This is not Fey water, but to demonstrate, he dumps it into the basin at the top, and you hear it swirl and flow around. And as it runs down the roots, there is almost like a curtain of water in the center of this circle, and you can see your reflection, and it kind of looks like a mirror.
Does it kind of look like my mirror?
I mean,
with all
sort
the
of.
roots and...
Yeah, it sort of looks like your mirror. Not the same, and there's obviously no handle or anything like that. It is just roots, but with the water, it kind of looks like a mirror, and as the water runs out, you see that it stops.
I'm gonna nudge her.
I was going to touch it before the
Sure,
water.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you touch the water, and your finger goes through it, and it parts. Now, if this were Fey water, that would be a portal to the Feywild and from the Feywild, but as it isn't, it is not.
You said you used the last of your water?
Yes.
You or somebody else?
I sent my parents' bodies home.
You didn't ask for more water?
I didn't think I would need it. I expected someone else.
You don't want to go back ever?
I do like it here. I don't think I'll need to return until I retire. In which case, I assume someone will come and replace me eventually.
Is that retirement death?
Could be.
You don't have any children?
No, unfortunately we have not been blessed with child yet.
Understood.
But
I'm touching everything.
Yeah, absolutely, sure.
Knocking on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. It's straight up Feywild roots and leaves.
She's not becoming small touching any of this stuff?
No, I would say that you glisten slightly, but you do not become
the same
small.
effect.
Yeah, not the same effect. You do not become small, but you do kind of glow.
What type of magic am I getting from the vines?
Fey magic.
Conjuration.
Okay.
We'll have to bring Twig down here when she's done. I don't want to wake her up while she's wearing that mask. It's terrifying. But when she wakes up, she should. We'll have to keep an eye out for water for her. I think she has to. I don't know if this is anywhere near the flower, though. What's on the other side of this portal? Does it move?
The portal?
Or is it stationary?
No, it is stationary.
What's on the other side?
Forest.
Do you,
Outside of the city.
do you know if there's like a special flower anywhere near this particular forest on the other side of this portal?
I possibly. There's a temple.
Does this temple have
a
a
few days
name?
ride. It belongs to Lathander, supposedly.
Is that who that? That sounds right. How far?
About a day's ride or so.
Do you know which direction?
Towards the water. So
At east or west?
East. Sorry. Yes. East.
Sorry, I get confused.
Yes.
To the east. A day's ride to the east.
Though it is not.
Very good.
I will specify. The temple is not always there.
What does that mean?
The portal doesn't move, but the temple does.
Where does it go?
I'm not sure.
How do you... You've never asked?
Well,
Is it normal for temples to move?
No, I assumed there was some sort of a godly influence going on.
You never thought to
I
say
assume it is moving
why
and-
the
and-
fuck does that temple move?
Well, I assume it is moving and not vanishing. I'm making an assumption. It's sometimes there, sometimes not there.
But you never asked why.
No?
Why didn't you ask why?
Remind me who Lathander is?
God, right?
Yeah.
Of
Harvest?
Morning.
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 That's not the same thing.
Like
Yeah,
sadness
he's
or
the morning
daytime?
lord. The deity of creativity, dawn, renewal, and birth.
It's kind of
Daytime.
similar to Harvest. But at the beginning part.
I was really hoping it was the moon one. So that way we
That's
could
not
go back to
morning.
that
That's-
horrible moon phases that we have going on.
Is that Lunar? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The moon one?
Morning.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
Salune.
temple.
Salune.
Hmm?
I knew it had a moon.
Okay.
Yes.
But you never asked where.
No, I was
Or
more concerned with
why?
protecting the ring. Not super concerned with the
You're not a
temple.
very curious man, are you?
Not particularly, no. Curious by nature, but
No, not
other
at all.
things. Curious about nature, sorry, but not other things.
I don't understand.
Sorry.
The next time somebody comes through this portal,
If someone should,
ask
they
them where the
haven't.
temple goes.
All right.
Please.
Okay.
Have I heard about this temple?
No.
And if you do get an answer, send it to Lakemount. No address to Marcus.
Certainly. Absolutely, I can
Perfect.
do that.
He'd want to know, I think.
I think he would want to know.
You do seem rather fascinated by this dandelion, you said?
Yes.
Is this something you're familiar with, or?
The.
The
Wait,
ring?
not this one.
You've seen another?
Was there a ring in the field?
Maybe. I don't remember.
Is it normally in a field?
Not necessarily. Most of them are protected. I imagine they're not visible normally.
What does that mean?
Uh,
Like just out in the open, but not.
yes, you wouldn't be able to see them if you didn't know they were there. They're protected. Such as this one. Not all of them are underground, but there are things in place.
Why is this one not protected
It
from
is,
sight?
well, it is underground. Under a tavern, that is the protection. There is only the one entrance to this cave through that
But-
door.
Why are the other ones protected from sight?
Other things built on top of it, like this. Yes, not
So
physically.
not open in a field.
No, if they might have been at some point, but
Like 7 days ago?
no, definitely not.
No, okay.
Are you finished with your questioning, Grand Inquisitor Shay?
I'm very curious. Unlike this man, he didn't even ask where the temple goes.
I mean, that is a little bit strange. Like,
you would have asked where the temple goes.
I would
man.
have.
Mr. Pigeon. tell me I'm not
He doesn't
insane.
speak, and he would have asked.
He definitely would have asked where the temple goes.
Have you
not
been there when the temple
There's
is
a
gone?
temple there, and then
Yes.
it's gone.
Is
would
it
be
is
like
it
if
still
this
there,
tavern
just not
wasn't here.
visible?
I don't think so.
No, he thinks
You
he
didn't
moves,
check.
but he didn't ask.
You truly are an imbecile.
Oh, that's rude. Aren't
I'm-
you an
That's
emissary?
not very nice.
I mean,
You'll have to forgive the young master. He's very over-eager sometimes. Doesn't choose his words kindly.
I choose not to choose my words carefully.
Don't listen to him.
All right.
Don't listen to him.
Well, if you're all done looking at this,
I do thank you for sharing. However, it seems like, have you? Do I get any magic off of him?
yeah, I mean he's a magic user.
But do I get anything maybe specific, as in like maybe enchantment or?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Trying to discern if his like memory's been wiped or
no.
if he's like a sleeper agent, he's gonna crack his tooth and like if we ask the right question, he'll like cyanide
No,
pill
no,
himself. I don't-
No,
Okay.
nothing like that.
Is he also like shimmery?
Yeah, in proximity to this, absolutely,
Are
yes.
you the same size when you're in the Feywild?
Yes.
Exactly the same.
Yes, though I am only half Fey.
What?
I'm half Fey, half Eladrin.
Oh, are his clothes monochrome?
Because
Because they don't change with the season then.
Eladrin would, but him being half, he does not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, half what and what?
Half Fey, half Eladrin.
All elf.
Your parents weren't both from the Feywild.
No, my father was, my mother was not.
How did she get there?
My father brought her there.
So he came here first.
Yes.
And then
It
she
complicates
went
the Raven.
back, and then
Yes.
you were there for a while, and then you came here.
Yes.
Understood.
And there are some Eladrin that exist in the Feywild, but
But not her.
no, she was from here.
Understood.
Shay, you've been asking a lot of questions. Mr. Pigeon, do you have any questions?
Don't be rude. You know Mr. Pigeon doesn't talk.
He still asks questions, occasionally.
That's fair. You do ask questions from time to time.
He's pretty good at asking
Did you
questions.
have any questions for the not-so-curious man? He probably wouldn't know anything you want to know. He doesn't ask very many questions himself. I'm sorry, that's rude.
It's all right.
Welcome to the rude party. You can come over and stand with me.
I'd rather not.
Okay.
Well, if there's nothing else, I'll show you to your rooms.
Before we've left, I've laid on the ground
Okay.
under the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dandelion is just glowing.
You're certain you have no idea where to find any of this water?
No, I'm sorry. Many of the sources I know about nearby have dried up. Not sure why.
I'd like to roll insight.
Sure. Yeah, it seems like he's telling the truth to you, and he is unaware as to why this has happened.
Does he seem disconcerted that they've dried up?
Yeah, absolutely.
We can look for some water.
We're going to have to.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, to see if this temple has moved again. And ask where it went.
What's wrong with the temple? Some things can just move.
It's a building.
You've never seen a moving building.
Have I ever seen a moving building?
Do I know of buildings that...
We roll history on moving
Well, I mean,
buildings.
you're shaking your head
Heard
no,
of a
but-
moving building?
No.
Never
I
heard
would-
a story about a moving building? Buildings don't move.
Okay, do
Buildings
you
don't
know
move.
anything about buildings that would plane shift?
Does Dandelion know about moving buildings?
No.
I'm asking
I
him.
don't know. She
Sure.
asked the question.
I don't see why buildings can't move.
I would say that, yeah, you might know about that. And I would also say that you could make the comparison between the building and how the flower was flickering before Twig touched it. Where it was flickering
Yes.
from shadow to physical to...
So it's
Some other
okay. I understand.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would I have heard any stories of perhaps, like a Baba Yaga figure with like a house that on legs that like moves around?
What the actual fuck?
No, I'm going to say
Okay.
no.
Did you just speak that into existence? Because now I'm
I
horrified.
mean, that's Howl's Moving Castle.
I don't.
That's
I don't
not
want to.
how,
I don't.
I mean, it is, but Baba
Yeah.
Yaga is like an.
No, I know
actual-
about Baba
Yeah.
Yaga, but I mean, in this campaign
Yeah.
now, it's.
I mean-
I feel like it's
Sure
real
might
now.
be. You never know.
I'm not saying it's not real.
I just don't know.
She's just saying she's
I
not
know.
heard
I
about it.
know
Yeah,
a
you've
lot
not
of
heard
stories.
that.
I don't necessarily like. Sarah, do
She's
not
going to the
know
haunt, ran
those stories,
streams,
but
and take his soul.
Dandelion.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I would say
You're
no.
level
you
5,
don't.
man.
No, but I would say you would put together
Burn it
when
down.
asking the question between
Something-
things that you've heard
that's
and
chicken
and
legs on a house. Why not?
well,
It could
also
move.
just like things that you've heard stories of with things plane shifting and the way that the flower moved.
Did the building that you were in the Feywild ever move?
No.
Okay.
So he didn't answer my question though.
Sorry, what did you ask?
Does he know about plane shifting?
That's kind of what the portal is. It's a plane shift using the material component of...
No, but I mean a building doing that.
Has anybody
Oh.
ever brought a building through the portal?
Not through the portal, but...
That's not what I'm asking.
Sure, yes. Things have shifted between planes before, yes. There are areas where the bonds between the two planes are weaker, and things do tend to shift sometimes.
Perhaps where
So-
the water is.
There's potentially we could walk in the temple on this plane and exit the temple on a different one.
If the temple comes to this plane, yes, but there
But you
are...
said you think it's moving.
It seems that way, but I'm not sure.
Does it?
Are any of the portals big enough to bring a temple through? No. You said you don't know where they are. Are you certain none of them are big enough to...
I believe they're all this size.
Okay. Can they make one that's big enough to bring a temple through?
I don't think
How
so.
did they make the temple? The portals?
I'm not sure. I think they were just there. I'm not sure who made them.
I'm gonna go with willpower on that one.
They're made natural. We don't craft them. They just grow from the ground.
Does it look entirely natural?
Yeah.
Other than the thing that's sitting on top of it where the water drips through.
Sure. It is not... It's shaped like a portal, though, right?
Yeah. It's,
Okay,
it's
so the-
like
It's created from natural elements, but
So,
like
correct.
it's shaped
Yeah.
like
tree
things
roots,
are not
like-
typically shaped in nature.
Um.
Or is it a shape that would be created by nature?
Is it the Fibonacci sequence?
It's not the Fibonacci sequence. No,
I mean,
it is
okay.
just, it starts like
That was your
this.
natural out.
Yeah, no, on a patch of what looks to be like fey land, stone, dirt, it just arcs up and connects, made of roots. I would say that level of...
So there's, it's not, it doesn't.
Perfect oval or jagged, like the growth of a branch.
a little bit jagged, like the growth of a branch.
So
But
it
they're-
does look more natural.
Yes.
Coincidentally, portal shaped.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So it could be made the size to fit a temple.
Possibly.
So you saying there's
Vines and roots do grow. They grow.
But yes, there are areas where the bonds between the planes are weaker, and things, during times of instability, tend to shift.
Now, if there's water in both places, it would be Fey water here.
Yes.
Does that mean that the distance between the hands is closer in that place?
Yes, that is
Is there any
generally
reason I couldn't just jump through the water into the other place?
something to do with the fact that the portal works this way. I'm not sure. I don't think you can pass through. Maybe during
Have you ever
certain...
tried to move the portal?
Well, it grows out of the ground. I'm not going to cut the portal and move it.
But if you did, theoretically speaking,
I don't think it would
you
work.
laid it down in one of these pools of water and jumped through it.
This place
I
is
don't think
magic.
it would work.
I'm gonna take a few steps away from the portal
Mm-hmm.
and lay on the ground again.
Yeah, significantly less glowing.
What if you moved this building
Wait, what color
with the
are you
portal
glowing?
in it?
Well, the portal is in the ground. I
Like
don't
a
think you could.
shimmering-
Shimmer. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
like, are you like
It's not like emitting light,
Couldn't
right?
just
Just like
move
a
it.
Yeah,
a
you-
twilight kind of.
partially see-through?
Natural out of the ground.
Not
I don't
like
think so.
luminescent shimmering.
You're
right?
asking me. I
Yeah, what type of shimmering are we talking about here?
Like luminescent, not see-through.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
not
am-
you. Like you were like glowing.
like twilight,
Yes.
sparkly.
So do I get
yes.
conjuration off of her as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Is she any smaller? Not
Like-
even a little bit.
Would you permit a perception check on
You did like the
smallness?
hand check. She's not any smaller at all.
Sure, you can do a perception check.
Oh damn. That's not.
I'd like to do investigation because I would like to actually
Sure.
motion. I'm rough. I've never checked my height against dandelions, but I would like to check my height against dandelions and see if I think perhaps she's just a little smaller.
Sure.
Maybe it's history instead of investigation. That's your call.
You can do investigation.
I got an 11.
Doesn't appear to be.
I'm going to turn to
Fuck
Mr.
that.
Pigeon while he's sizing up Dandelion. Are you sure you don't have any questions? I mean,
That's a
You're not
6.
curious at all?
Now, I think that she's a little small.
No,
she is.
you're just gonna
I
shrug.
think she is.
Sure.
I've
Sure, you think that
investigated
she is.
portal.
Sure.
We'll look over the portal.
small.
Sure.
We'll shrug.
I think you're a little bit smaller.
I don't
Do you
think,
feel smaller? Just like a little bit.
I mean, I never really felt smaller.
That's true. Do I seem bigger?
No.
Not even a little bit?
You might be a little smaller.
What about Mr. Pigeon? His sleeves, are they the same size as
Mr.
they were
Pigeon's
before?
pretty tall.
Hold him up.
I'm just
Look
poke
at
the
them, they're
sleeves.
very...
I don't think so. I guess this. Okay. I rolled a 2.
You can't really tell.
What do you think? Do you think he's in it just a little bit? Like, very marginally.
Maybe he got a bit taller.
I think she's smaller.
Puff up.
She's perceiving us as just
Have
a
you
little bit
grown?
bigger. I think she's a little
You've been
smaller.
drinking a lot of milk.
I don't have it prepared. Growth or reduce.
Have you been drinking your milk?
He definitely hasn't.
Well, then it's definitely her. She got smaller. I'm certain.
I don't think you can grow anymore.
I did.
What?
Just recently.
No, I mean,
She
yeah,
was
no,
smaller,
I mean,
but she's bigger.
No.
I meant
I
like
was always the size.
to maturation.
She was a little small. Not a lot, just marginally smaller.
No, she was a lot smaller, I thought.
Excuse me?
Wasn't she?
I don't recall that.
I'll just very
Not at all.
obviously wink.
Yes.
We can go back upstairs.
Yes.
It's a good thing he's not curious.
He actually like just zoned out, staring at like the vines. I told you he was an imbecile.
Yeah, so he's going to start leading you guys back upstairs.
On our way up, I apologize for getting flustered earlier. I
quite
didn't.
alright.
I didn't mean it.
I understand. It's a lot to take in.
Thank you
No response.
for
Dead
showing
air.
Okay.
us. You said we can use it if we find some of the water.
Yes, absolutely.
That is very kind of you.
Of course, I trust another from the Feywild.
She's very trustworthy.
It's true. I can definitely be trusted.
Just look at her.
Seems trustworthy to me.
Absolutely.
I have a quick subject change question.
Sure.
Do you know anything about Mr. Turner upstairs?
Yes, he's... He's been with us for 20 years. Dropped off by his brother, I believe.
Oh, his brother.
Yes.
What might his name be?
Maxwell.
Of course.
Bootstrap Bill.
Bootstrap Bill Turner, yes.
Sure, that's not his father.
Yes, his older brother dropped him off and left gold enough to keep him for
really
a time.
Hoping that you'd say that he had been here for like 60 years, and then it was him that made the film.
He looks mid-30s.
He was just trying to comfort the poor man that lost his parents.
No, he's been with us for 20 years.
How long has the halfling been here?
Mavias has been with us for 10 years.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know if he likes his brother?
I mean, as far as I can say, it's been quite a long time. We had not seen Maxwell again. He never returned.
It's not very far away. Damn.
He was, I believe, his brother was told to remain here, and so he did. Obviously, as he grew, he was able to leave. We were not going to keep him once the money ran out, but he chose to stay and work here with us. He likes it here. Considers it his home at this point.
That's wonderful.
Yes. Very nice man.
That's a very specific job.
Yes, it helps us control the amount of water that our crops get. It's very important not to over or underwater.
That is very important.
It is. You can also just use Druidic magic to alter the plant life. Just gonna mumble to myself.
Sure. Anyway, upstairs for
Really
more
not good.
more drinks.
No, thank you. I think I've had
Actually
quite
take
enough.
More tea. You have a seating area out that just
Yes,
sit and
outside.
relax for a while, actually.
Absolutely, yes. Let me lead you there. He leads you back upstairs. Were you gonna say something?
More honey,
Absolutely.
maybe some bread.
Sure. Whatever you'd like.
You wouldn't happen to have a mirror around here anywhere?
Sure, we do. Yes.
I'd like to tidy up.
Sure.
Very good.
Yeah, he leads you guys back upstairs. Yeah, and we'll switcheroo. The rest of the city on him.
I had just sent you
Yeah, I just got it.
notes and stuff. Just so this way, I made sure, especially for the one element about the hugging.
Yep.
I don't know whether or not there is any element there to the physical description for why, for when I am embracing him. Like, I understand that he is visibly emaciated.
Mm-hmm.
I just know details about
Sure.
clothing selections.
Yeah, so, yeah, his physical stature as you hug him seems to be, the like
Frail, like emaciated.
Not horribly emaciated because he they did do a lot of exercise with swimming.
Yeah, he's also been here a month.
He's been here a month. Yeah, you can tell that there's definitely the clothes being baggy is a result of just that's what they had because his clothes were probably torn.
Yeah.
Since it doesn't look like his
Also,
clothing.
Tristan is significantly larger than he is.
Yes.
He was like 6 foot, whereas Edwin's 5'5".
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, no, he seems okay, though. In physical condition, he doesn't seem injured or anything like that.
Cool.
And he seems to have been clearly well fed while he's been here. Yep.
Okay. All right, good.
Yeah, so you guys are sitting at the table as they
Yeah,
bounce.
as everybody else goes downstairs. Yeah, no, I would, after everybody is gone, just kind of observe him, eating for a moment and start to actually eat my food as well.
Sure.
And then after, a couple moments of quietly eating together and everybody being gone and, still just enjoying the relaxing sounds of the ebb and flow of the wheel and the rain and everything, I would just kind of, place my utensils and stuff down and push my plate away. Very good food here.
Yes, it's really quite wonderful. It's the closest thing to home I think I've felt in quite some time.
I could say the same. I suppose you don't know what happened.
No.
If you've been here a month.
No. If more people have been taken, I can't imagine it's been good.
They took everyone. Then, I do not know for what reason, but I had to send the people to Lakemount because they burned Goldview.
So this is the closest thing to home, then?
It's the only thing I think that will feel like home again for some time, friend.
I'm sorry. Are your parents all right? Did you find them?
Not in the mines. Burning. Still.
So sorry, Marcus.
I think they wanted revenge for all the times that my, suppose you could say my father really...
Foiled their plans.
Yes.
Fucked them up good.
Yes, he did.
Could throw hands like the best of them.
Yes, he could. And that is, I think now, my inheritance. And a thing that I will attempt to do with all honor and dignity of such a demanding position. But there is a piece that I can give to others that I cannot take for myself just yet, and a piece for a man like you that I would wish to, in some way, extend to others. And if you choose it to be here, I will respect your wishes. There are people in Lakemount, though, who do still need help. I do not know whether or not your uncle is faring well. Everyone was in quite a state when we relieved them of their chains.
I can only imagine.
But the people here are nice as well. Perhaps some of the people of Lakemount could, if you visited, return here with you and provide more services and accommodations and comfort, and even if it's just for a short time.
I think that would be nice, at least for those that are perhaps worse off. I think some relaxation here would do them good.
I also think they would take great pleasure in the wonderful meals here.
Yes, I think so. There's quite a few fields behind and a full orchard.
Yes. Yes.
Mostly what I've been doing is tending to the trees.
Really?
Yes, apple trees.
Very lovely. I would love to go back to Lakemount with you, but my journey presses me onward.
I understand. You are clearly taking on a large burden. I can see it in your eyes.
It has been a very, I guess you could say, humbling set of days. But my companions are also bearing a different kind of burden, each to their own regard. I am attempting to help the small one find things of her home. The others are a bit more...
complicated.
Yes, complicated is a good way to say it.
They look like a complicated bunch.
They definitely are. If you do go back to Lakemount, if you do not mind, there is a woman there that I would like for you to deliver a letter for me.
Of course.
The small one who is looking for things inside, here and in other places for her homeland. When Tristan talks of Feywater, I believe that there might be someone there who may know of it further for me. You will be able to pick her out quite easily. She looks very different from the rest of the people of Goldview.
Understood.
She is an older elven woman named Harrowell. I will, if she would not mind, hope that she gives you something to bring back here and ask Tristan to store for me for the future. If you could keep that safe for me.
Understood.
Thank you.
Gladly. Anything.
Thank you.
Glad you're alright. And I'm very sorry for what happened and what you're having to weigh upon you now.
Well, it's a strange thing to think about, Edwin. When many people think that they are chosen for a purpose or directed in some fashion to do a thing, even if it is a good thing. I think people often underestimate the heaviness of that burden and the responsibility that comes with it. Not all good deeds are done with just good measures. But I do my best to do the hard things as good as I can.
It's an honorable task.
Thank you.
Not everything is easy, as you said.
No, far from it.
Life is hard, but there is beauty in it. And
yes, there is.
I know that one day you will find the peace that you deserve, and will deserve at the end of your journey.
I hope to be deserving of it. My father deserved a better ending, as did my mother, as did many of the people of Goldview. And my first purpose is to ensure that that does not ever happen again. To good people like our families, or to any of the families I've yet to meet.
Yes. It is unfair, but there are things that aren't fair. And at least I hope that when you find your peace, somewhere they'll find theirs. Wherever that is.
I will make sure they do. No matter where it takes me.
I know.
Don't know if there's a person there in Lakemount who might be able to assist you with changing the way that looks. But perhaps you might be able to have some kind of new piece decoratively done over it to cover up those more terrible memories.
Yes. It's partially why I haven't left. I'm afraid of if someone should see it. And I needed rest.
For me, for my tattoos, they obviously would have been done while I was in Goldview.
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining they probably would have been done by an artisanal character inside of there, somebody who is druidic or a ranger in some regard. Would I think that of all the people that we rescued, somebody in there might be capable of doing it?
Yeah, for sure. There was enough of them.
Totally fine to give him the name. I don't even remotely need to know the name. Just the name of the guy who does those kinds of things. Or woman, either way.
Sure.
I would make sure that he obviously seeks them out and clearly indicate to mine.
Yeah, that you have these markings.
Yes.
I'm sure I can find someone.
Yes. And I think Tristan might find it quite... has a good sense of gratitude and appreciation for the things he's done. Well, he's done for you. If I don't know if you saw the shaping of his gloves that they take when he heals.
Yes, the wrappings.
Perhaps that
would be, I think, a nice thing, an honor for him.
Yes. It's good to remember the people who have saved our lives.
It is. Truly is.
Yes.
It is so nice to rest.
I look forward to another rest after my journey. Someday I hope to comfortably retire into a place like this as well and accept a more humble and modest form of work, but for now, there are many things that need to be changed about our world and about these kingdoms.
Yes. Quite a lot of bad.
Yes.
A lot of good.
Yes.
But more good people than good things.
Yes. When you go to Lakemount, please make sure you stop by the tavern and say hello to Joseph for me.
All right.
I knew my father and was a soldier long ago with him, and makes a great cup of coffee and has delicious ales and also knows his way around a kitchen.
I'll remember that.
He'll treat you very well.
I'm sure he will, especially if he's as much of a fan of your father as most of us.
You said you worked the docks?
Yes.
Did you work much with a young man named Elias?
I knew him, yes. He assisted with certain things when we came off of the boats. Didn't interact with him too much, but occasionally.
He was not working out of choice either. His father was one of the more prominent figures, I suppose you could say, in the Gilded Mask, and his life was chosen for him. I have offered him the chance to redeem himself by serving in Lakemount. I apologize if it is hard to see someone who reminds you of the docks, but know that he is not of the docks. He was simply also positioned there, outside his will.
He never struck me as someone passionate about the work, so...
No, he was definitely not.
I imagine it will not be too difficult. He was kind.
Yes, quiet and kind. He's a good young man.
Yes, he is. That's good to know that he is all right.
Yes. There were not many that we were able to offer that chance to out of the gambling halls and the docks. They seemed prepared to fight for either vanity or ego or some other thin thread of what they thought made them man.
The amount of gold that passed through there, I'm not surprised. I imagine even the best man might be tempted by that.
Sadly.
A lot of things to be done with that much money.
The Iron Crown even paid for the things that were deemed not relics.
Yes, I'm sure not to the degree
Yes.
that a relic would have cost, but yes, they still took all of the things that we found. Anything that was magical, they took. Anything else was melted down if it was nothing.
Certainly. Metals can at least be repurposed.
Yes.
Ships that you found. I know that you used at least the name of Lathander. Did any of them, like the old tree in Goldview, have any kind of religious markings or shapings? Any statues like on the stern of the boat that still laid?
Yes, there were quite a few that had at the front of the ship, decorated with symbols of the gods, or someone representing the gods in a worship sort. Not in a... It didn't look as if it housed the gods themselves, any of the ones that we looked at.
Yes.
But in a worship sense, yes.
Certainly.
There are so many of them down there.
Ships.
Yes.
I wonder why. Why so many? Sunk or were sunk? Did any of them look salted? I mean, I'm not a seafaring man myself. Yes. Hard to tell for me. I'm sure it was hard for you to tell as well.
Some did. Some looked more affected by the elements. Snapped masts and things of that nature, but...
Storms.
Yes.
Yes, I've been told to keep an eye out for storms.
Mother Nature is very powerful.
Yes. Yes, as are the forces that guide it. It's very interesting to see a man like your friend Turner here, blessed with at least the capacity to influence it in some way, even if in a small token.
Yes. Just the area within the nearby to the tavern, but yes, in some small sense he can, to some degree, control the rain. I don't think he would be able to stop a storm in its tracks or anything, or cause one.
Certainly.
But he is blessed with some sort of gift.
Sorry, I'm just thinking.
No, it's alright. Take your time.
Because it is, again, trying to ensure that the questions are structured fairly.
Mm-hmm.
Had Madame Macabre given us a physical description of Elowen? I don't recall. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay. Sure. I would just ask then that name specifically. If any of the individuals from the Iron Crown or the people who received them ever used the name Elowen or what was the V? Virus?
The one that Dandelion gave?
Yeah.
Velthuil.
Velthuil. Thank you. I was like, I know it's a V.
Yeah.
The name Velthuil came up. Something that the Iron Crown mentioned. I don't think he was ever there.
No, I'm not surprised.
But the name came up, yes.
I've always wondered why cross the Mistlands and come so far for these trinkets.
Must be very powerful, whatever they are.
But what purpose does power serve, Edwin?
I think it depends on the person.
Exactly. And how do these people have such outstanding reach to be able to influence across such a dangerous place as the Mistlands? I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's something I've wondered myself. And it's terrifying to think that there are people more powerful than the ones that held even me.
Yes, I know. They took Shantia from the tree.
I imagined they had.
Do you think they thought it might have been a relic?
I think so.
Something at least worth investigating is definitely a religious idol.
Yes.
I don't recall anything strange about the statue, though, do you?
Nor do I.
He simply sat and prayed and had meals.
They took everything.
Certainly. I guess out of ignorance it could have been something where one of the bastards, while burning everything else, simply saw something that looked foreign to them and chose to take it no matter what it was.
Better to take it and find out it's nothing than to leave it and be scolded for not taking it.
Certainly. Yes, it does not seem very much like these people are hesitant to be punitive.
I don't think so. Thank you very much, Siren.
Oh, thank you, Siren. They didn't hurt you?
No. Not physically.
Good.
Being locked away for 2 years has certainly done something to me, but no,
Yes.
physically, no, I am unharmed. Tired, but unharmed.
Good. Thank you.
Of course.
I wish I could offer you a horse to take you back for your trip, but sadly we need at least both to be able to take us and
I
ferry the
understand.
carriage.
I'll find my way back.
Should you stop in Southport on the way, if you do need assistance, at least a guide or something comparable, it would be wise to stop by the lawkeeper's office and look for a wonderful young woman, well, not so young anymore, a young, wonderful woman named Sheila, and a companion of mine who remains there to assist her named Murdoch. They would be able to assist you with finding, I think, better tailored clothes with the money that I've given you, and ideally possibly set you up with the rental of a horse to assist you for your journey to Lakemount.
Thank you. If I stop there, I'll seek them out. There should be a horse that I can borrow, at least here.
Good.
So I'll find my way.
Good. Yeah, I think that is good for me. I think that at that point I would just kind of, extend my hand up and pat him on the back and just...
Yeah, he would just kind of like grip the table.
Yeah. I know that nothing feels right, but it just takes time to get back to a new kind of right.
Yes.
And it is good to remember the old ways.
We'll find a home. Something that feels right. It's the people anyway.
Yes.
Not the place.
Yes. I hope someday I can help with restoring the land of Goldview to the beautiful fields it once held. I promise that to Matthias and to the others.
I would like that very much.
I would appreciate it if you could help me someday with that. Maybe even Mr. Turner and Dristan if they're still available. I know Dristan can't go far, but...
At least until he retires.
Yes. Yes, and it seems like they do a wonderful job with tending the fields and helping with the growth and restoration of places. Seem like very good nurturers.
Yes. They are. Very kind people.
They are. Yeah, I am good there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they would just sit and... Yeah, I'm just going to call everybody in.
Put one upstairs.
Okay.
You walk back in and Marcus is dead.
Mm-hmm.
We're just here to say goodbye.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you guys very much for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Siren, thank you again for the sub and the Liching Hour for the raid. We really appreciate it very, very much. We'll be live next on Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, then Tuesday at 7, and next Friday at 7 again. Thank you guys very much, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Goodbye,
Bye.
friends.